All right, welcome to this week's Walk and Talk, and we're coming from the beautiful, this is absolutely stunning, this park, Benjakiti Park in Bangkok, Thailand. So it almost feels wrong to talk about all the news from this week because it's pretty much all negative as usual in such a beautiful place here, but we're going to kick off and let's just give you a quick overview of what we're going to be talking about here. The outlook for the UK and US businesses in 2024 is looking bleak. The Fed is committing to higher interest rates as we go through the year. US debt, $34 trillion. Epstein files, shoplifting, crime rates, and all sorts of other craziness. So let's get started, and I'll show you first this beautiful, beautiful lake that I can see and you can't yet. Hold on. Let's turn around here. Wow, look at this. Let me give you a better view. Look at this. This park is gorgeous, absolutely stunning. And the flowers that they've got everywhere as well. Just lovely. So let's kick off with the first story then, and this comes out of the UK. We're going to be talking UK, USA, Germany, Russia, all sorts of different stories today. But the big story coming out from the UK is that there is no excuse for shoplifting, says Chris Phillip, the UK's policing minister. He stated that the cost of living crisis is no excuse for shoplifting in the UK. And I'll tell you about these crime rates in a moment, which are absolutely outrageous, the crime rates now. He says that the UK has one of the greatest and most generous benefit system in the world, as well as incredible minimum wage. One thing he isn't mentioning there, though, is that the minimum wage might be high compared to other countries, but the cost of living in the UK is pretty staggering. I know a lot of people on minimum wage who are really struggling at the moment, especially because the minimum wage hasn't kept up with the crazy inflation over the last couple of years, which was caused by the government and the central bank. Don't forget that. They kind of sort of brush over that. Whoa, just almost dropped on my head. I don't know if you can see that. What on earth? Let's chase it. Well, okay, that doesn't happen every day. A snake drops on your head almost. Better watch out walking under these trees. If you are a snake person, let me know if that was poisonous at all. I'm very curious if that was a poisonous snake that almost just dropped on my head. Oh boy. Oh, and by the way, I saw these funny comments on this week's video saying, how is this guy on holiday? Or why is he on vacation yet again? This guy is just on vacation all the time. Does he ever actually do any work, right? As I've explained a number of times, yes, I am working. My work is no longer what I used to do, managing companies. Now my work is digital. It's all online. I make videos for you. I spend most of my time actually creating courses. I do the Patreon, the private community videos. We're about to start the new coaching program in a few days. The link's below. All right, so I actually do work. Yes, I'm not just on vacation, but I created my life in this way so that I don't have to just do something that I don't enjoy doing. That's what I used to do. I used to do work that I don't enjoy doing. And I've said so many times, you can learn a lot of this stuff for yourself if you want to. And we've just started the January sale on the courses as well. And the links for that are below in the description. It's crazy at the moment. It's something like 85% off the courses. So yeah, you can learn all this stuff, by the way. Don't just think that if you are, in a job that you don't like or a life that you're not enjoying, don't just think that you're going to get trapped there forever. There is actually a way out of it. I'm testament of that for myself. So what are the typical things that are being stolen then at the moment? Well, according to the supermarkets, it is meat, dairy and butter due to their high resale value. So they're actually saying that people are stealing these food items and reselling them on what is now a UK black market. I'm absolutely staggered to hear there is a black market in the UK for such things. But I think they are overlooking the most obvious things as usual. They're just blaming it on, people and people are this and people are that. No, you've always got to look at the economics and you have to look at the crime and the punishment. Remember, there's always tipping point theory that we have to take into account. So what is actually happening? In fact, I've got a chart here for you. You can see that the charge rates have plummeted. This is shoplifting, personal theft, and of course vehicle theft. We all know about my van that was stolen and the police did absolutely nothing at all. And I've got to make a video about the insurance company at some point as well, who tried to not pay out, and then eventually they decided to pay out, and they paid me a tiny fraction of what the vehicle was worth, so I had to take them to court, and I won, of course. So, and they had to pay all the costs, all the damages and everything else. So it does work to actually do these things and take these insurance companies to court when they try and scam you. So this was Admiral Insurance in the UK, by the way, who I was insured with. So I would never, ever use Admiral ever again. Okay, let's get some shade here for a second. Oh, I've seen a nice bench over there. It is pretty hot. Let's just say, I think it's 35 degrees Celsius. And this is even in the morning. I've come out a little bit earlier. If you're in the UK right now, it's the middle of the night, you're fast asleep. And in the US, it's probably the afternoon right now, the day before. What? Oh no, this isn't a snake. It's another one of those lizards. I know people often say, oh, you're distracting me with your walk and talk with all this stuff. This is meant to be an interesting walk, and I'll show you some stuff as we go. What is this? What is that under there? I think it's another one of those dragon things, or a monitor lizard, I think someone said. Yeah, the last time I did a walk and talk through the park, I had my feet dangling over the edge, and this thing swam up to me. I thought it was an alligator, but I'm glad to hear it was just a monitor lizard. Okay, I must say I'm a little bit paranoid sat under this tree now after the snake incident, and there's birds above shaking the branches, so all right, so retail thefts have escalated 27% in major cities. This is what I keep saying about the cities. Get out of the cities if you are living in one of these horrendous cities now. I just don't see the benefit to it at all. If you want the culture, go in on the weekends or something. So it's 1.76 billion pounds in the UK has been stolen over the last 12 months. And they're saying that, you can read these police reports, by the way. I'm not just, throwing stuff out here. You can actually read these reports. And it's saying that they, convict some of these gangs, which not really, the conviction rate is tiny, but they say that they just come back and they deport them from the country, but they just come back and all this other stuff. It's quite interesting when you speak to police officers about these things as well, because they give you quite good insight. So yeah, shoplifting in the UK is now over 1,000 cases a day. And as a result of this, retailers say that they're now adding 6p to every single transaction just to cover the cost of theft. The police say that they can't convict all the people because they don't have the resources, which is ironic because remember the video we looked at statistics on all of this and we went through the police reports. They have an almost unparalleled conviction rate against what they class as hate crimes, misgendering someone. It's almost 100% conviction rate. But yet if you steal someone's car, you do a really serious crime like that lady who was getting out of her car with her baby, putting it into the baby buggy, and she got hit. Yes, hit, knocked to the floor, and they stole her vehicle and the baby was left in the street in the middle of winter. This sort of crazy stuff, the conviction rate's really low, but you misgender someone, oh, you're going to prison for that. And was it 80% increase in the conviction as well, like the actual sentencing? We're living in a clown world now. It's where everything is completely backwards. Okay, let's keep this walk going because we need to see some of this beautiful park here. The next article then, UK, 30,000 businesses will fail in 2024. Again, that is an absolutely staggering number. 30,000 businesses they think are going to fail this year, and this was from PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers, that did this survey. So what does the survey say then? Well, basically it says the alarming trend is fueled by a combination of higher interest rates, low economic growth, and soaring energy prices, which is going to lead to the UK going into what they call a technical recession. They said that they expect to see insolvency levels far exceed those that were seen during the 2008 financial crisis. And of course, one other thing is that consumer spending will drop. You've got to bear that in mind as well. And that's where we come into the employment scarring theory, which I've taught you about for the last sort of 3 years here. So employment scarring is still one of the biggest sort of alarm bells to look out for, because as soon as that starts, you're going to see the recession get a lot worse. But it's not just UK bankruptcies, it's US bankruptcies as well. So this actually surged in 2023, increased by 18% over 2022. Now, 2022 was pretty bad. 21 was really bad. 2020 was really bad. So the fact that we're now seeing this uptick again for 2023 says that things aren't quite the way that Biden says they are. We have the greatest economy in US history. Oh, my predecessor, Trump, he was, terrible, and he did terrible things, and yeah, okay, Biden. But the other thing that happened was the rise included a 72% surge in Chapter 11 filings, an 18% increase in consumer filings. So do I think this is going to continue? Well, maybe, maybe not. I think as long as the interest rates do come down mid-year or so in the US, it's not going to be as bad, because it's the interest rates that are killing things at the moment. It's the interest rates that are really damaging the businesses because they can't afford to pay for the debt. But on the flip side, you've got a lot of commercial real estate, which it won't really affect retail as much, but you've got a lot of commercial real estate now, which is competing, supply and demand curve, competing for less customers. So you should see all the commercial real estate continue to come down in price. But I wouldn't say the same for retail. You might see a little bit of a drop, but it depends on the area. It's different area to area. Gosh, if you come to Thailand, you've got to come to this park. Benja Kitty Park it's called. I almost forgot the name there, because it is just stunning. It is absolutely beautiful. And even right now, it's pretty hot and it's morning. Gosh, I can't imagine this park in the afternoon in summer. And yes, I know I need to buy a pair of sunglasses. For some reason, don't ask me why, I never lose things. But sunglasses, every single pair that I buy, I tend to lose them. So I lost my new pair of sunglasses again. They just vanished. I don't know where they are, so I'm gonna need to pick up another pair. Next story then is the UK FTSE 100 CEOs. This is an interesting one. They earn the average UK salary in just 3 days. Yes, this is a big story. It's everywhere at the moment. This whole thing around the UK CEOs, and people are furious about how much money they're earning, and they shouldn't be earning this much money. On Thursday lunchtime, top execs at FTSE 100 companies in Britain had earned more than £34,963. So that's the average median wage in the UK for a worker. So their average salary is £3.81 million. This is 109 times the pay of the average full-time UK worker. Back to the US then, and economists are predicting 3 rate cuts for 2024 in the US. That's come down a bit. Before they were predicting 8 or 6 to 8 rate cuts. Now they're just predicting 3 rate cuts. So that's interesting. I'm gonna have to look at the data on that and see exactly why they've done that reduction. And the US national debt has just hit $34 trillion. This is crazy. Do you remember when it was just 31? In fact, do you remember when I did the video and I talked about how it now hit 30 trillion? It was just unbelievable. Now it's 34 trillion. And I don't think people quite grasp the gravity of this because of how much interest is due. If this keeps going like this, the tax revenues are not going to even cover the interest that's due on this. Oh, we got some nice little birds here, a kind of dove. And we've now got warnings coming out about deflation in Europe, the UK, and maybe even the US. So this is a very interesting story. I think I might go onto the path here, get some shade. It is getting hot and I have not acclimatized. I've just come from freezing Isle of Man, which is UK region. Freezing temperatures straight into 35 degrees Celsius here without my sunglasses as well. My eyes are not adjusting just yet. So here we go then. We have got forecasts for deflation, and we're already seeing a lot of backlash because all of the profits of a lot of these big food and drinks companies are through the roof at the moment, and the supermarkets are now pushing back and saying it's not fair on consumers because a lot of these price rises are just price gouging, as they're calling it, and that they're doing shrinkflation and raising prices at the same time. So shrinkflation is where they make the packaging smaller, which is normally what, you would see that, but they're also raising the prices at the same time. So it's really crazy. In fact, Pepsi is already facing a European backlash as 9,000 supermarkets are refusing to stock their products because of these 3 profit increases in the last year. One of the largest supermarket chains in France is refusing to sell any PepsiCo products on the grounds they've become too expensive for consumers. A spokesperson for Carrefour said the move would apply to its network of more than 9,000 stores across France, Spain, Italy, and Belgium. Another interesting story today then that's come out. The US is now the largest LNG, liquid natural gas exporters in the world. Isn't this interesting? So now supplying pretty much everyone. It's even saying that they've opened this new market in Europe ever since Nord Stream. Oh, what a coincidence, I think we can say there. Hey, what a coincidence. Nord Stream just happened to occur. No one knows who did it, of course. And now the US is gaining, is profiting. The US energy companies are doing really well as a result. How interesting. Europe was the primary destination for US LNG exports in December, receiving over 61% of all the shipments. Asia is a smaller market, but still quite large. And a little bit of a controversial one then. This was in the news today. Over 33,000 migrants face deportation to Rwanda from the UK. So this is very controversial at the moment. There's a lot, a lot of people are talking about this one. I'd love to know your thoughts on this situation. You know my thoughts already. But I do think it's funny how Rishi's saying that he's the only prime minister to have cleared all the backlog, and he's going to be stopping all illegal migration into the country, and that all the other stuff that he's taking credit for. And talking of migration and stuff, this story comes out of Russia. Very interesting story here. On New Year's Eve, Russian authorities, under Putin's directive, detained around 3,000 illegal immigrants in St. Petersburg and other cities, with many forced to enlist in the military. Well, I guess that's one way to stop what they are all calling here illegal migration into a country. If you go around rounding everybody up and putting them in the military where they don't have a choice, and then put them on the front line in Ukraine, whether or not this story is true, who knows? A lot of the stories that come out, I don't even, talk about on the channel because you just don't know if they're true. But this one I thought was pretty wild, so I'd put it in today. Whether or not it's accurate, who knows? But that's one way to stop migration into a country anyway, if people think that they're going to be thrown on the front line if they come into a country. I wonder if Rishi Sunak or Biden are going to follow Putin's lead there and do the same thing. Now, we were talking about a lot of the conflict that's been increasing recently. Well, North Korea is really ramping up their rhetoric at the moment against, here we go, the United States and South Korea. So they're furious with the United States. They're saying that the United States is behind, you know, all the problems and, you know, everything else. All the issues in the world are the United States, etc., etc. So they're going to be destroying, what did he say? Completely annihilate the United States and South Korea. Oh, need a bit more shade there. It's getting too hot here. But we have had the Epstein files out now. I just find this amusing that everyone's like, what? Bill Clinton and some of the other people. I can't believe it. I can't believe Clinton was named in these. Really, you can't believe. I mean, surely people have known this for years. And oh gosh, the general public, hey? And people are shocked about Prince Andrew as well, and that he must be innocent, even though he paid millions to keep the lady quiet. But some of the ones named were weird. I mean, you can go and look at all these names. I won't name them all because the algorithm will pick up the names, because that's what the AI does now. And the video will be banned or restricted or something, so I won't name all of them. But the one that made me laugh when I saw it was Stephen Hawking. What? I don't know if this is serious or if this is a joke. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. How exactly he was doing, I mean, I don't know, you know, maybe I'm missing something here. That was the weirdest one that I saw. And then the last one, then we have got a woke weird story. UK church replaces husband and wife. The Methodist Church in the UK has released an inclusive language guide. Yes, they're saying not to use terms like husband, wife, son and daughter anymore, because this could offend people who are non-binary individuals. This is exactly what it says here. They also said that we need to attract more people into the church that are from the LGBTQ community. I mean, I don't know exactly what they are thinking or who wrote this guidance, but I just can't see people from that community all of a sudden deciding that they want to attend the Methodist Church. I mean, maybe I'm missing something here. I don't exactly know. But the whole thing is a little bit weird if you ask me. The church, unfortunately, is going woke. And on that note, my mouth feels like the desert. I need to go and get some water. This has been ridiculously hot on this walk and talk. Hopefully next week I'll be more acclimatized. But let me leave you with this beautiful view behind me here. And if you're in Bangkok or you come here, definitely check out this park. It's called Benjakitty Park and it is just absolutely beautiful. So thank you so much for watching today. Take care. God bless you. God bless your family. And I'll see you next time.